And that day we made probably like 7,000 euros profit.
That's
in
insane.
a day.
Fantastic. What's poppin', people? It's your boy the Beast of Ecom, and I am back with another video, dropping something but you already know, value bombs. Right about now I'm out and about in London, and the reason why I'm here is I'm going to be meeting two very special people. Now these people are 7-figure students of mine, and I'm going to be interviewing them and showing you how they went from absolutely nothing to scaling their stores close to 28,000 euros per day and then past 7 figures. And what I want to do is give you guys an insight onto, you know, how they actually discovered dropshipping, how they've been able to scale so successfully, and some of the struggles that they've had along the journey. Now if you are new to the channel, of course, make sure you like, comment, and make sure you smash that subscribe button. That is enough talking for me. Let's just get straight into this video. So we're here with two of my 7-figure students. Let me just introduce them. We've got here
Maxime
and
Luna.
And these guys are some of my first students that ever joined my course. So what we're going to do is just have a conversation about, you know, their whole journey from going from, you know, what they were doing before dropshipping to how they actually discovered dropshipping, some of their struggles and setbacks that they've had to where they've got to some of their biggest days, and we'll talk about how they've actually crossed over 7 figures with dropshipping. So first and foremost, thank you guys. It's a pleasure to actually meet you, because believe it or not, we've not actually met before, so this is the first day that we've actually met, so it's a pleasure to actually meet you guys. So let's jump straight into things, and again, I'm very much interested in your story as well as some of the other viewers as well. So first and foremost, explain to me like kind of how you came across dropshipping and what you were kind of doing beforehand, because a lot of people want to know like what you were doing beforehand and how did dropshipping just fall into your lap. So what was it you were doing kind of like beforehand?
Thanks first for having us today. It's
No
really
problem.
nice, and finally we can meet.
No
So
problem.
thanks again. What were we doing before dropshipping? I'm a composer. I'm a musician. So I used to tour with bands, mix TV shows, and then I studied in the US composing for films. So that's what I did after that. I compose music for films, and I'm actually still doing it.
Fantastic.
And I'm a photographer. That's what I was doing before. I was at some point shooting portraits for corporate business and stuff like that, but it was not really my type of thing. So I was more into fine art photography related to nature.
Okay.
But the thing is, in France, it's sometimes hard to just make it as a living, like 12 months a year, you know what?
Yeah.
So, that's why after that we came to finding some solution.
Yeah.
We
to-
discovered dropshipping.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm interested in finding out how you actually discovered dropshipping, because me personally, again, my viewers may be sick of hearing this story, but the way I came across dropshipping, I was always looking for things online to make money online, because that's just what I knew that a 9 to 5 wasn't something that I always wanted to do. So I would obviously, I think everyone at some point in their life sits down and goes onto Google and it's like, how to make money online. But I was I used to keep going to a website called Black Hat Forum, and on there's some weird and wonderful ways on how to make money online with like domains, affiliate marketing and stuff. And dropshipping, someone had posted stuff on dropshipping on, you know, how they made X amount with X amount. That's how I discovered dropshipping. So how did you guys actually first come about like dropshipping?
I guess that's me. So a friend of mine gave me a book, a French book. It's I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, no problem.
So I discovered dropshipping first. A friend of mine gave me a book on financial liberty and independence.
Yeah.
And so I read that, and I watched this guy online, the French guy, talking about that, mostly real estate.
Mhm.
And I watched other videos, and it went more and more into online business videos, like
Down a
YouTube,
rabbit
like
hole,
recommendations, and then I discovered dropshipping, mostly with French YouTubers as well as American ones, and yeah, we started like that. Like it was, we had this whole like choice of businesses that we could start with no, or at least like a small budget.
Yeah.
And to me, that was the best option we had to make a second
So
source of money.
I'm interested, like, what drawn you to drop shipping then? Why, out of, you know, all of those business opportunities that you had, again, it's very hard to obviously get into real estate unless you've obviously got a hell of a lot of capital to purchase a house or deposit for a house. What kind of drawn you to drop shipping specifically, rather than like fulfillment for Amazon or affiliate marketing? Why was it kind of like drop shipping or e-commerce?
Yeah, the fact that it was everything online.
Mm-hmm.
You just needed a computer. I'm kind of a geek, so that was something I could see myself doing, and so I talked about this to Luna, and yeah, we started this because we didn't have a big budget at first, and we could try it out and just spend some money every month, and so we set up this and arranged it. So we said like, okay, this month we're gonna try to spend like $100, $200 max.
I think we joined something like 500 each on a common account.
Yeah.
And we said like, okay, basically that's the money for making this business grow.
Yeah.
And let's have a shot. Let's have a real try for it.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Because a lot of people always ask, like, you know, and I know a lot of common questions that I get is always, you know, what budget do I need to start out with? You know, what kind of budget? And you mentioned you started with around about 1,000. Was it euros? Because I know you guys are from France, so it's like 1,000 euros. And I typically kind of started with the same. My first store was like £700, which is probably about, maybe back then, $1,000. But typically I always kind of say to people is like, you're going to need some money to test products, you know, and a lot of people try to get into the game and it's like, can I make things work with $200? It's like, it's going to be hard. So talk to me about kind of the first store that you've ever kind of set up and the journey from actually then making that first sale, because the first sale is obviously the best sale that, you know. Talk to me about like, how, if you want to share the product, you know, what the actual product was that you sold. What was that journey to get to that first sale, that cha-ching on the iPhone?
Yeah. You go.
It was yours at first because at the beginning we decided to try separately, like each store.
One store each.
One store each. Sorry, and we started from there. He was the first to give a shot. So yours was a general store with a lot of furniture, like
kitchen appliances, things like that. And she had like a jewelry store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and first sale we made was on my store, and it was, you know, the red pancake thing that you put it in the pan, and you put pancakes. Like,
the circle.
Yeah, the small circle, the red thing, and you flip it, and like $12. And that was the first sale.
Fantastic. And what did you feel like? What was it like when you actually had that first? You know, because everyone normally has their notifications on when they first. It gets to a point where you have to turn them off. Obviously, some people leave them on. But what was it like to have that first sale of, you know, the cha-ching sound? How was that?
It was kind of unreal. Yeah. Like, okay, it works. That was the actual point when we realized that, okay, that's no bullshit. Mm-hmm. It actually works. We're not making millions yet or anything, but it just proved that the system is valid. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, and I think that rings true because, you know, a lot of people looking or don't have the success and they kind of like they're testing products and it's like, oh, they can't get that first sale, and they then start to give up hope of saying, oh, you know, this doesn't work, you know. But once you get that first sale, it very much just proves. Because if you can get one sale, you can get 10. If you can get 10, you can get 100. If you can get 100, you can get 1,000, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so you've made your first sale, and then of course everything just seems real. So talk to me then, how did you go, and how long did it take for you guys to go from then that first ever sale that you got to then going up to like 100 to 500 to then $1,000 a day?
First of all, everything changed when we decided to start the business together.
Yeah,
to join the forces.
Yeah, because a lot of people, that's what I'm saying, a lot of people run their stores together, and I think it's important actually to highlight that, you know, you don't have to just run a store on your own. And you guys, again, when I first jumped on the call, you were very ecstatic, and you know, you could tell that you guys have got dynamic there, you know, so you don't have to just run a business on your own. So you guys were doing things separately, and then you merged them together, and then things changed at that point. So talk to me about when you kind of like decided, okay, you know, it's pointless us doing this thing separately. You know, what was the decision to then do things together?
Well, because we started to notice that we were helping each other a lot because of each other weaknesses. And forces of one self is the weakness of another self. So basically, at this moment we noticed that there's a point to make ourselves an association because of that reason. And at this moment we started to delegate tasks for each other, and everything went pretty much smoother and easier and quicker. And then we decided to invest in knowledge, which is the most important thing. And we found you. We found you with YouTube. We started to view a lot of your videos, and then you dropped the course, and we bought it in October, and we were, I don't know, one of the 10 first students.
But
so to jump in there just really quickly is, what was, so I mean, we'll kind of jump ahead and then we'll go back. But what is it at the moment in time? Like, who focuses on what? Like, who's got the most? You know, is someone just like delegating product finding, and then someone's really good at, you know, running the adverts? Who kind of in which part does which?
We there's some things we do both, like running ads, and lately she was doing it more than me. I'm like, at first when we decided to partner, to be business partners, I'm a really logical thinker, and I like for everything to be in boxes and super organized and everything, and she's super creative, and
it's a clash.
And so I had my weaknesses and she had hers, and so we helped each other. And then when the business started running, we could switch roles and then apply, like I was trying to get more creative, and she was starting to get more logical and everything. So now I think we are on the same level, at least on some tasks, not everything, but yeah.
That's how you complement each other. So how long did it take you to then get from like one sale to then like 1,000? Are we talking like maybe like 3 months, 2 months?
1 month.
1 month.
Yeah, something
I think
like that.
the first sale was really quick.
Yeah.
Like we bought a course in French, and we applied it and spent a few weeks on the store and tried to get the best out of it, and then the first sale happened in like 2 hours, which is, for most people, it's not happening like that. So we were lucky. And then we changed product, because I think like for this product it was the only sale we made. And then we decided to. She actually found a nice product, like a fly trap. That looks stupid, but we actually happened to we managed to get it to 1,000 a day, but not really profitable. And then we were stuck. Like we couldn't scale, we couldn't go up. And that's where
That's when I come in.
yeah.
No, so yeah, I mean that's fantastic. I mean sometimes the hardest part is getting up to $1,000 a day for a lot of people, and sometimes having the first sale as well is really hard for a lot of people as well. But you crossed that hurdle. Were there any setbacks that you had from that one sale to 1,000, or did they come after you kind of scaled from 1,000 upwards? Was there anything in between, or was that kind of like pretty plain sailing? Or
I think between the first sale and 1,000 was pretty smooth.
pretty smooth.
Yeah, apart from customer service,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
super depressing when you do it yourself.
So you guys were doing customer service.
Yeah, at first.
For
yeah.
the two first months.
Yeah.
2-3 months.
That
yeah.
was stupid.
And then you
Yeah.
decided to outsource it, which is
Yeah.
obviously the best thing to do, because of course it frees
Obviously.
up your time to then focus on the money making things.
Mm.
So you were stuck at $1,000 a day. What did you then do? So you were at $1,000 a day and were kind of like not profitable, maybe profitable some days, maybe not profitable some days. Some people are kind of at this stage. Again, at that point, what did you decide to do then to then shift to then go on to do? And we'll talk about kind of like some of the best days that you've done, because it's absolutely fantastic the numbers that you guys have achieved that we'll get into. But what kind of shifted at that point, and how did you guys feel just being stuck at $1,000 a day?
Really frustrated, but we knew that there was a solution. We just had to find it, and we started to
watch a
a
lot
lot of videos on YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
without courses.
yeah, and coaching as
and
well.
coaching as well.
Yeah.
We started to get better results, but we couldn't really scale it. And yeah, and you happened to start your YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and we almost applied for a $5,000 mastermind in
Wow.
France,
Yeah.
and we knew it was at the time you were
You were about to
release the course,
Yeah.
and we had the choice, like buy the course or buy this,
Yeah.
and so we decided to buy the course,
Yeah.
and I think it was the right choice.
Right decision. Yeah.
We were already making progresses only with your YouTube videos. That's why we really decided to buy the course instead of go to this mastermind. And that is exactly where the magic happened.
Yeah, that's the shifting point.
The shifting point.
Yeah, really.
Having someone because in France, like French courses at that time, now it's better, but at that time nobody was doing anything near 10k a day.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Not on Facebook.
Not Facebook ads.
Not Facebook.
Instagram
Because
influencers.
the course we bought previously was, the Instagram part was really valuable, but not the Facebook ads. So that's the thing, basically.
Yeah.
We had a lack of content at
Lack
this
of
moment.
information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going from like 1,000, then so you got the course, and it's like okay, you're overloaded with a lot of information in there, because I do put a lot of information inside of the. I don't like to just have one or two videos, but because there's so many different ways to scale a product, and one way may work for some people and for some products, and then loads of different ways may work for something else. So talk to me about, you've actually got a product there, you've got this course, and you've got a wealth of different information and different scaling strategies. What did you then do to take, like, say, go from 1,000 to say 10,000? Because that's another shifting point. Getting to 5 figures per day is difficult. It's not easy to do, and a lot of people struggle. They may do 8,000, 9,000, but they can never get those 5 figures. So what scaling did you do to then shift from $1,000 to $10,000?
Some manual bidding.
Basically we tried everything. I'm not a good student. We skipped most of the course and went directly
To the
the scaling strategy.
Yeah.
Well, we watched a few other videos at first, like did we get the store right, and is it something that's breaking our conversion rate, things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went directly to Facebook ad scaling strategies and tried everything.
Yeah.
Basically.
We tried everything,
Yeah.
and then the manual bidding was something that just kick-started
Yes.
everything off. So once you've then got to, because going from 1,000 to 10,000 is not easy. Were there any setbacks? Because that's when generally setbacks happen. You know, you're making money, you're doing well. You know, entrepreneurship is never obviously easy. So going from there, generally they say more money, more problems. So what sort of setbacks did you have going from 1,000 to 10,000?
It was during November. We had our first PayPal dispute, and immediately after, we had our first how do you say that?
Reserve.
Reserve, yeah, reserves.
Yeah. So we had like a 20% reserve,
Yeah.
and we already had in the account like $6,000, and then we got the 20% reserve, and
And
then
straight after that, yeah, the Stripe.
Stripe.
Stripe reserve as well.
Yeah, just completely shut down our account for that store.
Yeah.
So I think we ran that store for a month only with PayPal,
Okay.
because we were in the process of setting up a new payment provider to accept credit cards and everything. And and we still get the reserve on PayPal.
Yeah. Everyone's got
it's been like 8 months.
Everyone's got I've still got a reserve for this day, and I've been doing dropshipping for like 4 years now. So, you know, reserves are just a part of the game. You know, some people, that is pretty much the first hurdle, you know. And you guys mentioned to me previously that you haven't had any Facebook accounts go down or anything like that either, which is very, very good.
Yeah.
You know,
Unconventional, but yeah.
Yeah. So I hope that you touch some wood or you have some good luck charm, because you don't want it to, you know, next week it will be
Well,
like...
we had the page score thing.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing.
Yeah, everyone pretty much has a page score, but you know, reserves just happen and they're just part of the game. You know, you just have to kind of like manage them, manage the cash flow, and continue on. So, how many products did you test before you found that winning product? So, the fly trap that you found, how many products did you test before you actually then found that product?
I don't know.
Or how many were you testing like a day?
For this one, not that much. Like maybe
It was
5.
It was almost a first shot.
For sure.
We tested like 2 or 3 products before, not even.
Yeah, 2-3 products.
Maximum.
But that was not like the real winner. The
No.
first big winner we had
Went after something like 10 or 10 products.
Yeah, 10-15
something like that.
products.
10, 15 products.
And different stores as well.
Different
Like
stores.
at one point we spent 1 month creating a store. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
We did 0 sale.
Zero.
Nothing.
It's all about the product.
Yeah.
So, well, that leads me on to another thing actually, is what sort of things do you look for in a product? Like, what are the main criteria for you to test the product? Because a lot of people get confused and they test like random stuff that they like the look of, which is obviously not really a great strategy to do. So, what is it you look for in a product to then think, okay, I'm then going to sell that product? Any sort of criteria at all that you go for?
It must be, well, if it's a hot product, like showcasing a lot on
Something
Facebook,
that's trending.
Yeah.
trendy, or a good use,
Problem solving.
Yeah, problem solving, and unconventional.
And usually we watch the competitors a lot. So we have a list of websites that we like to check out and see what they are selling at the moment. Or we just we don't use any app at the moment, like AdSpy or Ecom King. We tried a few of those, but mainly we look on Facebook. We search on Facebook. So
you guys have the best success with finding what's kind of working rather than just reinventing the wheel or trying to find the needle in the haystack. It's you know, find out what's working. You know, if it's working for them, there's a very possible chance that it may work for you guys. And then you test it.
But the main thing that we realized, it's not only about the product. That's probably 60 to 70% of it.
Yeah.
But it's also about the ad.
Of course.
Because at one point, one of our big winners that did more than 10K a day. I think we went up to 15K with this one a day. At first we tested it and it was not profitable. And like 1 week or 2 weeks later, we saw another video for the same product. And so we tried that new video and it just went nuts. Like people would buy it straight away.
So what makes a good advert then? So like in terms of like writing an advert, what kind of makes a good advert stand out?
For the video part, you mean?
For like the product, so like, you know, for any sort of thing like headline, copy or thumbnails, you know, because you said that you tested something to start with, but it was like the video. Is there anything like that makes a good advert in Facebook?
First of all, the quality of the video. If we can reuse it, of course we always mix and match several videos and just create our own with our own text. We focus on trying to find some kind of life solver, basically.
Problem solving.
Problem solver. And then we look at the price, look at the margin. We look at some competitors to find out what they already have done with that product. And then we re-improve everything and we focus on storytelling. Like the core, we found that our strategy is mostly based on storytelling and good marketing content, just to make the product more appealing.
So you guys are at $10,000 a day. You've you've got from 1,000. You found a winning product. You then use manual bidding to scale up to $10,000 a day. Talk to me about some of the successes that you've had. To this point, you feel free to go wild with boasting, etc. But again, because I'm intrigued, and I know that the viewers will obviously, someone watching this will be inspired of the whole story that you've had. What are sort of some of the biggest days you've had? What are the biggest months that you've had?
Well,
where are you at now?
When we passed that mark, that 10K mark, we knew it was possible, and we realized that there was no limit virtually. So we applied everything, we tried new products and everything until we find a really good one that had really good results from the beginning, and we just scaled it so hard. And we managed to get it up to 28, almost 29K a day.
Fantastic.
Euros. So around like $30,000 a day.
Fantastic.
With 22% margin or something like that.
Insane.
And that month we made $350,000, something like that.
Wow.
So insane.
Insane.
When you go back, and when we were expecting, when we were trying to get into e-commerce and say, okay, if we can do like $50 a day, and at the end of the month, and that day we made probably like 7,000 euros profit.
That's insane.
In a day.
Fantastic. Just like that. And it changes completely everything. You then start to think that other things are attainable. If you've done $30,000 a day, what's stopping you doing 60,000? It's just never ending. You can just go on. But you've been obviously through the struggles, and it makes the late nights worth it. All of the late nights, and a lot of
early mornings, mainly.
You're an early morning person. I'm a late night person. I just can't wake up I can, but I snooze like 10 times.
I do it too.
But she
can wake up like that.
Early.
That's it.
Early person, but it makes the hard work, worth it, and it's very important to get across that. It's not easy, but if you put the work in, follow proven strategies, you will eventually get there. So what does your life, look like now? You've what is it like for you guys now? What's kind of like your daily routine? You live this laptop lifestyle. What are the perks of living this quote unquote laptop lifestyle?
Well, first of all, we moved to London.
From
Paris to London.
I just moved like 3 months ago.
And well, one of the one of the best thing was probably to just be able to pay up from 3 months cash for our flat, just because
For the rent.
for the rent.
Yeah. Something that we were not able to do, like we wouldn't.
Yeah, because
Imagine.
London's expensive. It's not cheap. you
Yeah,
know,
well,
especially
we
in the
didn't take
world.
like a super expensive flat, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, it's London.
It's,
But you've
it's
got the
good.
benefit to be able to do that now.
Yeah. But the main benefit, I think, is not worrying about money.
A peace of mind.
Yeah, we don't use money too much. We don't spend it on Lambos or anything like that.
Yeah.
But,
You had an interesting story, just to interject there, of you at some point when you was in Boston at that time. Now you say obviously money is not that much of an issue. You're not crazy with it, but you had a very interesting story of when you was in Boston. So explain that.
I was studying there, music, film scoring. And at one point I had no money left to eat. I almost lost 10 kilos there.
Wow.
I'm not thick, already. So can you imagine like 10 kilos less than that? And so I had to ask my parents to send me like a Western Union, like some cash, so I can just eat.
Wow. So
that was it.
We go from being able to eat to then being able to just pay 3 months cash up front and living in London. That's absolutely insane. Is there anything else that you enjoy now of not having any like boss at all, or?
It's a thing we never had.
We never really had any boss. Since she's a photographer.
So you've always kind of had that.
Yeah, I had like at some points
some payday job, but just for a couple of
freelancers kind of thing.
We've always been freelancers, so it doesn't change a lot compared to people that are employees that have a standard and a standard job, like 9 to 5.
That's what I had. I was 9 to 5 grinding that out.
I never did that. Which is like I can't relate too much, and I believe you can't either.
No.
But definitely not having to worry about money. We don't have millions, but we do have what we need.
More than the average.
Yeah. So that's definitely a plus, and definitely like the peace of mind, and that's good. And now we can invest as well. Like we can think about how to spend that money wisely and not on some bullshit, and go to a trip to Bali, buy a villa, not go in, being robbed because you have like 5 Rolex on the arm.
So, what sort of advice for the people watching this and seeing the journey that you guys have kind of been on? What sort of advice would you give? I'm not going to put you on the spot and say what one piece of advice, because it's a very hard thing to do. But what sort of advice and what sort of things should people focus on? If they're just getting out. So if someone's watching this video right now and they've started where you're at, where they've maybe saved up $1,000. What sort of advice would you give those guys? To help them along.
In my opinion, it will be focus at first. It's essential. I mean, every day, even if it's just 30 minutes or something like that. Focus and do it every day. Invest in knowledge, invest in your brain, and you got to love the grind.
Yeah. As for myself, I would say like prepare for the worst. Like we always say to people asking questions, like PayPal is going to block you. That's one thing. Like that's it's going to happen. So don't spend the money now. Invest the money. Put it aside because you're going to need it at some point. And then you can grow the business before growing yourself. So focus on the business, not on you. If you get a stable job and something that can make you pay the rent, buy food, and go out with your friends, keep that until you're really sure that you can go out of this situation. Otherwise, if you step aside too early, can cause damages.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. And I know this is a lot. I want to ask this question because it's interesting to me as well. Would there be anything that if you could go back in time, so you're Maxime and Luna sitting here, you know, with no experience, well, you know what dropshipping is, you've got, you know, all of your experience, but you're back at zero, or you're back with $1,000 again. What would you do differently, you know, than you did before? Is there anything different that you guys would take? Anything at all that you would change? Or would you just, you know, do this exact same thing again? But it's interesting.
Maybe starting our association earlier.
Yeah, working together right off, like not waiting to work together, because it worked for us. Like I know some people it doesn't work. Like some people try to partner and to get business together, and it just doesn't work because that's it. Like some people can't work together. But yeah, definitely team up from the start.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys here, taking some time out of your busy schedules to sit down with me. I've learned a lot about you guys, and you know, again, I've never met students face to face before, except for ones in masterminds and stuff like that. So it's been an experience for me to learn about you guys and your struggles that you guys have had. Again, hats off, and you know, thank you for being fantastic students and putting in the work. You're a testament to hard work and you know, great partnership. So hopefully you got some value from this video. Now, if you want to learn the exact same strategies that Maxime and Luna have taken to get to where they have, then make sure you join the waitlist for my course Ecom 2.0. The link for that will be in the comment section and in the description. So if you want to be notified first, then you know what to do. Make sure you hit the waiting list. It will be down below. Now, of course, if you did get some value from this video, then make sure, of course, you like, comment, and make sure you smash that subscribe button. I would appreciate that very much. But that is it for this video. I'll be back with another one, dropping nothing but you already know. Value bombs. Take care, and I'll see you later.